How's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning in to Fisher's Travels and DIYs. Today is a DIY day. It's been a long time since I've done a video. I've just been so busy with life, but I had an opportunity to make a video and see if I can help other people. Again, I'm not a certified technician in any of this stuff as far as fridges and appliances and that kind of stuff, but just a little bit of research and common sense helped me be able to get my fridge to work again. So a few days ago, my fridge was making a clicking noise down at the bottom, which is in the compressor area, and would click, hum, and click. So I did a little research and found out what that was. But first, I'll just run through the steps that you want to do to diagnose your refrigerator to find out what your issue could be. So the first thing you want to do, there's a couple quick points you want to touch on. You want to check your coils down at your bottom of your fridge. Make sure that they're clean, there's no fur, it's not covered in dust, you have good access of flow to it. Then you want to open up your freezer, and behind this panel, there's this coil there. And that coil, if it's frozen over or a solid block of ice, you're going to want to hopefully be able to thaw that out and figure out why that's happening. It could be your coils are dirty and it's not cooling properly, which is causing it to overfreeze, overwork. Those are just things that I researched again and found. Another thing you want to do is you want to pull your fridge forward, open up that access panel to the back, and look at your compressor and see if it's overheating. You can do that by just putting the back of your hand to it. Or in my case, I had a little gun here that shows the temperature. It should be just hot to the touch, but not to the point where you'll get scalded by just touching it really quick. So if it's at that point, then it's overheating, and you got to find out why that is. Another thing, just make sure that there's a little fan there running, pulling air in through the coils, past the compressor, and out the back. If that fan isn't working, then your system is possibly overheating as well. In my case, it was, and I might be wrong on what these are called, but it was I believe this is the overload relay and the capacitor. So I had to order these on Amazon. There is a shake test you can do, and if you rattle it and hear noises, I don't know if you can hear that, it means it's bad. But in my case, this is actually a spare one that I have. In my case, I saw liquid kind of all over the inputs here. They go onto the compressor, and it smelled like electrical fire. So that led me to believe that my overload capacitor was bad. Okay, so now I'll go and show you where you can find these things, how to remove it and how to install it, as well as I'll plug in the old relay so you can hear what that noise sounds like. And if you're having that noise, hopefully this can help you save a ton of money. I mean, just these parts alone only cost me 25 bucks on Amazon, whereas the service call was $95 to get somebody out here, and plus by looking online, I've seen that these guys are charging $75, $80, $90 for these parts when you can just buy it 25 on Amazon and even cheaper on eBay. So let's get right to it. I'll show you where that stuff is. I'll show you where actually everything is, where the coil is, just in case you're not familiar with those parts. And we'll go from there. And age, but I can get that for you and post it in the description. So the first thing you want to do is you want to open both your doors. That's what I had to do in my case. It may be different for you. You come down here to where the coils are. Pop this little door off. Just pulls right off. Just pop that right off. And under here you're going to see some coils. And you want to check and make sure that your coils are not matted, full of fur, which in my case they were in pretty bad shape. It could be a reason why my switches overheated, or it did smell like electrical fire, so that could be the reason. So we'll move on to the next thing. As come over here in the freezer, you're gonna see a panel here. Sorry, my vegan friends, I do have some ribs in there. You're gonna see a panel here. This panel right here, there is a coil behind it. If it's frozen, from what I've read, you need to thaw that out, and it could be because your coils down here are matted and causing the fridge not to work properly, overwork, and freezing those coils back there. So you gotta make sure those are thaw it out, take a blow dryer to it, thaw it out, and then clean your coils, and hopefully that'll fix your problem. In my case, that wasn't the problem. So now we're gonna go to the back. Okay, so now we're at the back of the fridge, and in some cases you're gonna have bolts attached in this little panel here. Mine is all beat up. I'm not sure why. This is a used fridge, and but whatever. So you're gonna have these bolts. I've already taken most of the bolts off, but for demonstration purposes, I'll show you. You know, there's gonna be these little things holding this panel there, and in my case, it's a 1/4 inch. So you just take your drill, pop that sucker out, put that to the side, and here we have it. So here's the compressor. Here are those switches. Here are those switches I was talking about. So your overload, your capacitor, I believe. And over here you got your fan. Mine is working properly, nice and clean area. I've already vacuumed and cleaned everything. But that's what you want to look for. And right now mine is a nice little hum. Warm to the touch. And it's not scalding, so it's working properly. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn the power off. That way I can operate back here without getting electrocuted. Go ahead and disconnect this. Okay, so once you remove, this is your capacitor here. I believe that's what it's called. Don't quote me on it. It is, in my case, I have a 180 VAC. The one that was on Amazon is a 250 VAC. So I purchased the wrong one originally, and as soon as I plugged it in, I smelled a little bit of a burning, turned it right off, plugged in my old one, which is a 180 VAC, and it worked perfectly, which was, you know, it meant that my overload was what was bad for my old one. So here's the overload, just connects right to the side of it. A little bit of wiggling, comes right out. There's your overload. It's got 3-prong insert on the back, and it just connects right there. There's a little cable here connected there. So I'll show you, I'll hook it up with the old one now and show you guys what the noise is. There's our first click on. And generally it'll last about 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes tops, and then it'll click back off. And that's really the indicator that one of these two pieces are bad. And there it goes. So if you're hearing that, guys, that's going to be your indicator that either your capacitor, or your capacitor or your overload relay are bad. And so I'm glad I was able to catch that. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect power. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Simple, quick, easy fix. Save yourselves a couple $100s, and you're able to diagnose it pretty easy. There's your simple tools there. Just a little drill with a 1/4 inch is what I needed. It could be a Phillips head or a flat head. There's the capacitor, the overload relay, and a thermometer just to check the temperatures down there. From what I read online, it should be between 120 to no more than 300 degrees on that compensator, which seems like a lot to me, so don't quote me on that, but that's just from what I've read online. Again, I hope this helps you guys solve your fridge problem, save you some money like I did. My fridge is working just fine now. We did have to use a cooler and some ice for a couple days until the parts got here, but within, I would say, 8 hours of plugging in those parts, the freezer refroze and the fridge chilled again. So that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. I'm going to be doing some more videos and DIYs.